Sunshine, I'm Faith and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how to get this hair right here, some beautiful loose waves with a lot of volume for the pageant stage. If you want to see how I got this look, go ahead and keep on watching. First, I'm going to go ahead and brush out my real hair before we start putting our extensions in. And I'm going to do something a little bit differently. I'm not going to put them directly into the bottom layer, so that way no short hairs like peek through to the front once it's styled. So after I have it brushed out, I'm going to section off from right about the bottom of my ears. I will section it off. So then I'm going to take my hair extensions and I'll put my first set in. This is a 2-clipped weft, and these are the 18-inch cashmere hair extensions in the shade Sunset Blonde. So we're going to pull that little set forward, and whenever you curl your hair for a pageant, you want to curl it away from your face, so you're making sure the clamp is facing in front of you, and clamp it. You're going to roll it up, and basically what I'm doing is just feeding the middle and top sections of the hair through first, and then getting the ends through, because you don't want the heat on your ends for a really, really long amount of time. And there you go, you have a little curl. Then you can hold that in your hand, kind of just to set the formation of the curl. Normally I would pin curl all of the hair if I was actually competing, just so that I could make sure it lasted all day, but I'm not competing today. Obviously, I'm just chilling at home, so I don't feel like putting all of those pins into my hair, but I will do it in the top sections of my hair because my real hair does not curl as well as the extensions. You'll see that. So we're doing the same thing on this side. We're making sure the clamp is facing away from us, and then we're going to clamp around the top or the middle, slide down a little bit, feed some hair through. Then you kind of open up the clamp to feed some more hair through. Trying to see my mirror to see how much hair I have through. And then you'll feed the ends through. I clip out and take the next section. All you want to do is feel for where that weft you just put in is, and go pretty much right above it. Get yourself a pretty thin section of hair and put it right above it. So then we're gonna go ahead and clip all of this up. Plus, I'm gonna brush that out, spray it, and then brush the heat protectant through it. And when you're putting the extensions in, a lot of times you would want to tease the base of your hair so that it clips in better and stays in longer. But the way that the cashmere hair extensions are sewn, they really, really stick into your head, and I don't find it necessary to tease all of the sections of my hair. Of course, I'll tease the sections at the top to get that real pageanty look, and so that it hides the wefts. But it's really not necessary for any of the bottom sections to stay in place. So I'm going to separate those in two, then brush everything together. And I'm actually going to separate this section a little bit further. Since I only had the 2 clips in last time, I didn't separate it any further because there wasn't enough hair. But this time we need to separate this probably into about like 3 different pieces, I would say. And if you're like me and you're putting in extensions and you have short hair, you really want to ensure that when you curl it, you have the ends of your hair like perfectly curled into where the extensions are, because if not, you're going to get a really clearly defined like little piece where it's not together. But I'm going to fix that later. I'm going to blend it all. Okay, so I have 2 sections done. That should be enough example pieces. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera and do the rest of the sections with the extensions in off camera, And then I am going to come back, we'll do the top of the head, pin curl everything up there, and then I will show you all of the teasing and styling, all of the fun parts. So I will be right back. Okay, so we are back. All of my extensions are in. All of the hair is curled. This is what it's looking like right now, and it's not going to stay like this. We are going to brush all of these out so we get that nice, loose, big pageant hair. But for now, we are going to do the top section, and I'm going to show you how I pin curl it. So the first thing we're going to do is let this section down, and I'm actually going to take it, let me brush this out a little bit more before I try to section it off anymore. I do have dry shampoo in the top of my hair as well. That's really going to help with the volume in your hair and giving it a little bit more grip so it curls better. I just used the Big Sexy Hair one. I really like how voluminous that one makes my hair, so that is what I would recommend. So what I'm doing right now is I'm sectioning off the remaining hair into 3 sections. I have a top section, a right section, and a left section. So this top section right here, I'm gonna go ahead and like wrap it up and put a clip in it so it separates the other 2 sections. Then I'm going to start with this little front piece right here. I'm not taking very large sections at all. They're about 1 inch at the most. I'll brush through that and make sure I get my little baby hairs in it. And we are going to curl that section the same way we did all of the rest of them, away from our face. We're feeding the ends through last, and we're not letting it sit super long. Let that little curl down. And then we're going to take just one of these tiny little, they're just these tiny little silver clippies, and I'm going to make sure that the ends are all wrapped up. And in our pin curl, just roll it up and pin it to your head. And I'm going to repeat that for all of the other pieces. I'm going to make sure this piece in the back, we're curling them all away from our face, but the ones in the back, we're really making sure that we pull kind of up and away from our face so that we can cover the extensions in the back of the hair, because you do not want any of those tracks to show. Doing the same thing here. I'm going to roll up that little end. There we go. Gonna get myself another little clip and just pin it to the top of my head. Same thing here. So this is my last piece for this section at the back of my head, and you can see I'm taking it kind of upwards and away. And I'm just holding it for a few seconds, letting it down. Then you want to roll it up, and you want it to be facing like away, because you want this one to go backwards so that it'll really help cover up those extensions in the back. Okay, so now the top section is very important. I'm going to go ahead and brush this out one more time. You kind of got like you'll have a little mohawk section going on here. So we're going to take the piece at the very back of it, section off about a little tiny 1 inch section. I'm going to brush that out, and I'm just going to use like my actual comb for that. And then this is where you really want to take it up and out, because this top section is where you're getting so much of your volume, and you're getting the hair that's going to cover all of the tracks, cover all of the extensions. So you really want to have this section be super lifted. Darn. And then I'm taking the bigger clips for these sections, just because I really want these to stay rolled like upwards. Darn it. My ends just don't want to stay in, so you're gonna see me recurl the ends on quite a few pieces because they're just not cooperating today. Just because they're thin and damaged. Okay, the very last piece is super important because this is literally going to be like your money piece once you're done. So really make sure you have all of the little baby hairs in that piece when you curl it, and keep it close to the root and get all of the good lift there. My hangnail is like ruining all of my pin curls. Okay, and there you go. You want to leave all of those there until all of the hair here is cooled and all of the hair up here is cooled. I would say you can probably leave it like 10 to 15 minutes. You don't really need to leave it any longer than that. Okay, so I am back. All of my hair is cooled now. We've waited quite a few minutes, probably about like 10 minutes total. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the pins. You can see it really like holds the shape of the curl and makes them very bouncy and voluminous. Okay, I have all of the clips out, so the first thing I'm going to do is brush a little bit of the hair backwards. And then pick it up with the end of my rat tail comb. It's actually not technically like a rat tail comb. It's like a rat-tailed teasing brush with boar bristles, and I would recommend this literally for everyone over a teasing comb. I think this gives a much better result, and it's way easier to tease with. Like, I have to do way less teasing. So I'm just going to spray it with hairspray and then start back combing. And you really, like, girl, you want to tease a lot, because not only do you need that glamorous pageant volume, you also need to cover up any tracks if you're wearing extensions. So keep that in mind when you are teasing. Go to this little side section. And I would actually recommend putting your extensions, if you're wearing them, a little bit lower down than I did, because I don't have a lot of hair at the top to tease now. But if I put my extensions down any lower, you would really be able to see like a line where my fake hair and my real hair meet. So that's why I put them up so high, just because it helps blend them better. Okay, and then we're gonna do the bang section. I like to do this one almost like diagonally. See, like that. It's like a diagonal line instead of a straight line for this section. I don't know why I do it like that, but I like the result of it much better than a straight line. So I'm gonna spray and get really close to the root with this. And on this side, I'm going to do a lot of sections, probably like 3 or 4 sections of teasing, just because you really want that perfect pageant swoop when you're done with it. That'll be 3 sections. Really teasing that 3rd section. Flip everything back over. It's gonna look crazy right now, but I promise once it's brushed out, it'll be cute. So we're gonna go ahead and start brushing it out. And be really gentle, because you don't want it to look like ratted at the top, even though it is. But you want to keep all of the teasing that you just did. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and brush through the curls at the bottom. And then sometimes I'll give a little tease throughout the hair just to really make it like big. There we go. I'm gonna hide that little piece under there just because it doesn't want to blend. And then really to perfect the hair, you just want to play with it and make sure that it's sitting the way that you want it. I'm actually gonna pin that piece right there just so that swoop will kind of set in place. And then I'm gonna spray everything, especially this swoop right here. Like, you wanna make sure that's solid. Like I said earlier, that's like your money piece. So this is the final look for the pageant hair. I am really obsessed with how it turned out, and I so hope that you guys are too. If you liked this video, please go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below and subscribe to my channel. I'm putting out new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and I am really looking forward to sharing all of my pageant knowledge with you. Thank you guys so much once again. Remember to radiate positivity today and always, and I will see you guys next time.